Hey, welcome back to the bathroom renovation. This is Greg. Today I'm going to be, preparing for plumbing. I can't really start any plumbing demo or plumbing install until I get some framing done. So you see here I've got this floor pan from Tile Ready. It's for the shower floor. I do have a link for Tile Ready down in the summary, just so you can get to their website easily. They are not a sponsor of this video, however. One kind of unique thing they offer at a decently reasonable price is custom size floor pans just like this one, with the curb and the sides all built in. It's all one piece and includes the drain. So it makes it really simple when doing a custom floor pan. And it's kind of neat. You can pick the type of drain you have, the drain location, and it's really pretty cool. Check out their site. This floor pan was about $800. The only other option you have besides one of these one-piece floor pans is making one yourself out of concrete, trying to get all the sloping right, and then do all the waterproofing and just making sure you don't have any leaks. So I think this is definitely the way to go. It already has the slopes built in and makes it easy to do the flashing and waterproofing. And you just tile right on top of this. So let's go ahead and set this floor pan into place and see how it fits and see where I need to frame out for the wall. All right, I'm going to continue some voiceover just so this video doesn't take forever. And so the floor pan fits in here nicely. It's not all the way down on the floor because the drain is still is not lined up. But I can see where I need to put my stud wall here. And I'm going to go ahead and take out this wall, and I'm going to have to cut out some of the drywall against the back over there to make room for my new stud wall there on the right. Now I want to make sure when I frame that wall, I'll make room for these shower niches. There'll be one on each side of the shower, one on that wall, one on that wall. All right, let's get it done. Okay, so I've got the drywall cut back where I can install the studs. I've got it marked here on the floor where my new wall was going to go, which is right here. So now I've got some space here for that. I am going to have to take this stud out of the ceiling because it's in the way. My new wall is going to be sitting over here. So this needs to come out or I'll have kind of a weird funky corner up in my ceiling. I don't need that, so easy enough to take that down. I've got a lot of stuff cut out now, and ran into issues up here in the ceiling. As you can see, inside the linen closet still had the popcorn spray on there, and I also cracked it, pulled it down a little bit. The 2x4 that was running across had some boards tacked on top of it that went over each side of this drywall for this to be nailed to. So in getting that out, I pulled this down just a little bit. Luckily it didn't crack too much, it just broke off an edge. This cracked completely. So I'm gonna go ahead and take out this entire piece since it has popcorn on it. Plus I wanna do some electrical in here in the bathroom. And I can use this as a kind of an access hole to get up into the ceiling without having to go through the little scuttle hole in one of the bedroom closets. So this will be much easier access. I won't even have to go all the way up in the ceiling, I don't think. Just to run a few new wires to can lights. So just about done with this demo portion. Let's go pull that ceiling out and I'll be ready to put the new wall in. Alright, so I paused on this for now. I did get the ceiling out. I wanted to put some plastic up It's actually a good opening to get up there and access everything I need for electrical. So it'll be helpful if this wall isn't here that I'm going to be putting up. So I'm going to leave it out for now. Shower drain needs to move. The toilet is going to be moving from there over to here in the corner where the tripod is. And then there's going to be a vanity here where the toilet used to be. So the first step is, of course, to take up all the flooring that I need to remove in order to achieve all the drain. You know, the water lines are pretty simple because they're all exposed. They do drop onto the floor right here, so I'll be able to access that. All this has to be removed where the tub was. But the biggest obstacle is going to be moving the drain, the toilet, and the shower. So, I mean, luckily the shower only needs to be moved a little bit. Right here is where the actual drain is going to be. I put a mark on the floor. So I'm just going to take out this section of plywood from here where the joint is, and I'm going to cut a line right here along the stud and just take out this one middle section of plywood. Then I'm going to continue this line from there all the way across here, and then I'll cut another line across by the wall there and take out this piece of plywood where the toilet is. Then over here I'm probably going to take out probably this entire section of subfloor, mainly to get the new toilet drain in and to remove all the other drain from the tub. So, and I got to get a vent going up somehow, and I'll tie into this vent. So that's it for this room, and then over here on this side, this needs to move over just a bit, probably about a foot on the other side of this vent, and the vanity is going to be centered on this wall, or just to the left of center. So that plumbing needs to go right in this area. Alright, well, let's get started. This actually isn't too bad. It's a little bit closer to the exterior wall than I thought, so I may have to move the toilet over. I had planned for the original center line of the toilet to be right here. Move this insulation. You can see this is actually the exterior wall because the second floor extends out beyond the first floor. This is the exterior wall, and this is just some support for the ceiling down below in the kitchen. Has a little drop ceiling in there. So I could potentially cut this away to get the 3x4 elbow right here for the toilet, which would mean I would need to move this over maybe an inch and a half, maybe to about here, which doesn't really throw a kink in the plans at all. And then basically I can just cut my PVC here, back here, piece in a new Y, and should be able to make that work. Hopefully it's not too close. I'll have to lay it out and see how much room I have. So worst case scenario, I don't know what the worst case scenario is. Maybe the worst case is I can't move the toilet where I want it. So we'll see. I'm going to finish getting the rest of this floor out. I did have to cut along the joints here where the individual pieces of plywood were joined together for the subfloor, and here as well. So basically I had to cut all the way around. And then these are also glued. See some remnants of the glue there, so it is kind of hard to get up, but I managed. I pulled a lot of the staples out before. I tried to pull it up, but there were still staples left. But you know, if you pry bars, hammers, it'll come up. And all right, I'm gonna pull this piece out. This piece over here, I went ahead and cut the hole larger for the shower drain for that to move over. And let's just keep going. Right, so I got the next piece of wood up here where the tub drain is. See that the insulation did not go all the way back in there to cover the soffit. I'll just stuff that back in there. So the drain, I could cut the vent pipe here and piece it together, but I think what I'm going to do is take a shortcut and just put a cap right here. I'll just cut this line and put a cap, and leave the vent the way it is with the T in there, sanitary T. Shouldn't cause a problem having a cap there versus just a straight piece with multiple connectors in it, which is what I would end up with. So I'm gonna get that knocked out. It's kind of the easy part, then I can get rid of this trap. Alright, so that went well. Reminder, always use your primer and your cement when connecting pieces of PVC. Put your fittings on. So that's it. That's capped off. There's nothing else on that line. It's just a vent that goes to the roof. That's capped. The lower portion goes around to that 3-inch line you see there. Further down the line, there's a Y in there. I think the remainder of today I'm going to spend pulling up more of the subfloor. These gray lines you see over here, the 3/4 inch and the 1/2 inch, those are the polybutylene lines. So I'm going to follow those. It looks like they come over this way, turn around the corner here, and they may actually be hitting this wall. I believe this wall goes all the way down through the first floor as well. So that's probably where they come up. So I'm going to find where they are, and that's where I'm going to change from polybutylene to PEX. I want to get every bit of that gray pipe that I can. So yeah, I'm going to work on getting more of this subfloor pulled up. It is a challenge because it is stapled in and glued, so you got to pry it, and but it'll come up. These pieces came up without too much problem. I'm probably going to replace this. You can see there's a little bit of dark matter on there where I had a leak before, so I'll probably replace this piece of wood, and it has the cutout where that tub drain was, so I'll eliminate that. But you can see here where it was glued and the boards below. And I can also see now, finally, where I had a leak before. You can see where there's water stains here. And it's good to see that there's no mold growth or anything dark in here. Just water stains. It leaked for about a week before I figured out where it was coming from. I say it leaked for a week. It probably leaked for a few days before it even showed itself downstairs. It was a tiny little pinhole in one of these lines right here where it curved around to go to the tub, and it was just the tiniest little stream coming out of there. So that's why I'm getting rid of all this polybutylene. If you have this in your house, it's a good idea to get rid of it. Got to move that drain. The drain is from the old, where the old shower was. The new drain is going to move. You can see I already laid the pan down and just marked inside the hole. And you can see that mark right there. So already marked that and then cut out this wood just to give some room. So I'm going to need to move this drain over to here. Now what I did is when I had the hole marked, I drew a line on the floor. You'll see it here. You'll see it back over here. There's one on the back wall, and then it comes all the way over here. That's it right there. So once I remove this plywood to move the drain, I'll have these lines making a cross so I can center up the drain without having to worry about this piece of wood being here and get the drain in the right place. So one thing you need to do when you mark that hole, okay, this thing is roughly 52 inches wide by 40 inches deep. So there's a couple reasons you want to set this in place. You want to make sure, number one, it fits. And right now I've got it flush against studs back there, and I've got it flush against the studs here at the back. And I'm going to be building a wall here. So I've marked on the floor the line across. That shows what side the stud goes on. And then I'll probably set this down here again when I get ready to actually set this wall in place and start framing it, because it needs to be kind of snug, fit flush against the stud wall on all your sides. They're going to go against the wall. So I'm going to take this back up. You can see right there where the existing drain is. That has to be moved over this direction. And that's what we're going to do now, is get the drain in the right place. And also, before I take this up, I have marked on here the inside of the shower basin here. Inside edge there, and then the inside edge here. I just want to know where center is, basically, because I'm going to have a built-in shower niche to hold the shampoo and soap. Got one of them right here. So it looks like this, and it'll be flush mounted into the wall, except it's going to be in this new stud wall that I'm going to build. So it's basically going to be right here on that side of the shower where I build the stud wall. So we'll just want to make sure that's centered. Alright, so as you can see, I already took my little cutting tool and cut all the way around. Even in the, this was just the joint between the two pieces, but you'll need to cut that as well, because usually that's tongue and groove here and here. And also this is usually glued to the floor rafters, so they can be quite difficult to get up. And there's also staples in there, which I was able to get under a lot of them and pull the staples out, and that helped to get this pulled up. And now here's what we've got. So I was surprised to see that turn when I pulled this up. I assumed it would come straight down between the rafters all the way over to the main plumbing drain, which is over here. But it does make a right turn, probably because it ties into the sink drain, which is over here on this side. So it probably ties into one main line that runs all the way down. Yeah, so that's what we're going to focus on. I just have a piece of scrap trim over the toilet flange here. So pull that off, and we'll show you how to remove this, and then we'll take up this subfloor. Alright, so let's get that out of the way. And before I actually remove the flange, I'm actually going to cut out the subfloor. You'll see the lines here I drew. And cut out the subfloor, get the rest of this plywood out of the way, and leave the flange in place, because I don't know what else might be on this line. I don't know how they plumb this, but you'll see. We've got the shower drain over here, which actually comes and turns over to this side. You know, the joists run this direction. So it may tie into this line, and we also have a drain here from the sink, which could come and tie into this. So I don't want to disrupt the 3-inch line that runs through here, just because I don't know what else is tied into that. And this bathroom on the opposite wall is still functional and active. So I'm going to leave this in place for now. Take this plywood out just to see what's going on underneath. Alright, well that is very helpful. I'm seeing how they have these drains run. So I think all I'm going to do here is probably cut this and just cap it off. But before I go any further, I need to make sure I know how I'm going to tie in the new toilet. I was thinking I could just remove this whole 3-inch line and maybe tie it in a new way down there where the toilet is moving. But it's obvious I can't get rid of this drain line since we have other things tied into it. So I'm going to pull this board back up and see what our next step is on moving the toilet. Alright, so now we see what we're dealing with down here. So the new toilet is actually going to go right where I cut that piece of 2x4 there. There's a little section of 2x4 missing. As for the new toilet, is going to come down. Might have to move it over maybe an inch from the original center line I drew right there. Move it over just a little bit so I can get that tied in. I was going to replace this Y. So I think I can still do that. Eliminate this line completely. The shower drain, which is in between the next two joists, I can keep the shower drain on this side, come across, bring this sink drain all the way over to Y into the shower drain line, and come all the way down and just do a another Y here, or even maybe a sanitary T, and tie in the shower drain and the sink drain right here on this 3-inch line, and the toilet would still be up here and a Y there. So I think that's what I'm going to have to do, which is not going to be today. That's going to be a pretty involved project. I may have to go and pull up this next section of subfloor here, and then yeah, shouldn't be too bad. Okay, so now I've got all the flooring up that I'm going to take up from the shower, toilet, where the new sink is going, where the toilet is moving, where the tub used to be, where I need to move the other sink over. I've got all my water lines exposed, as well as the main two that feed the bathrooms. I thought these came up from that wall, because that's the bathroom downstairs, but they do not. They actually go all the way to the other side of the house. So I'm just gonna change these over to PEX right here, and then I'll do all new PEX. Replace all this polybutylene. So it's time to get started. Clean this out, make sure this is insulated very well. This is all exposed to the outside. So that's probably why my water lines froze a couple of years ago. If we open this up. Yeah, so basically these water lines, this is the outside wall with no insulation, and I can feel cool air right there. So one of these, cold or hot, I'm not sure which one froze a couple of years ago, but that will be why. So we'll make sure that's resolved. We'll get insulation between the water lines and the exterior wall. And like I said, we'll be moving these over anyway, so they'll be over on this side. And this is a big mess as well. Piles of wood chips. Not very good insulation. So I didn't take anything out of here. This was completely uninsulated between the outside wall and the floor here. So yeah, next steps. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. Please leave any thoughts or questions down in the comments. And if you check out the summary, you'll see links to all the videos in the bathroom renovation series. The next video in this series should be all of the plumbing demo. All this plumbing you see here should be going away. So should be pretty interesting. So we'll see you next time. See ya!